Peace doesn't come from avoiding hard decisions, it comes from finally making them. Growth starts the moment you stop running from what you know is right. What they do though, y'all know what time it is. It is mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Excuse the noise. Y'all know, I got to start the day off selfishly for me. Well, you should know by now. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about you. But I am an individual who struggles with what I feel from what I know. And that causes me to delay decisions that I know I need to make. I know I'm not the only one, okay? We as people, we know, but we delay what we know because our feelings get in the way. I remember being in high school and look, I knew a certain group of people. I knew they wasn't for me. And I've never been one to fit in. I've never been one to completely disown myself from or for someone else. But there were so many, and I mean so many relationships. I knew they wasn't for me. I knew it. But then the waterworks, the crying, the manipulation, friendships. We know when someone is truly and genuinely and sincerely is for us. But we delay what we know because we pay so much attention to what we feel or even to what other people feel. Feelings get in the way. And y'all know I always say, do what you know, not what you feel. But in the heat of the moment, what we feel is all we know. What others feel, if you're a genuine and sincere person, you're going to pay attention to what other people feel more than what you know. But it's only after the fact when we pay attention to what we feel. And what we feel sometimes is what we know. And like I said, what we feel is all we know, but after the fact. And after the fact, the cause, we're too deep into it by that point. That's been pretty much the summarization of my entire life. I'm always delaying myself, but I'm never denying the knowledge that I have up here. And like I said, by then I'm already deep into it. But that's why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, because that doesn't have to be you. And that is no longer me. Because people, life, and even things, they will always reveal themselves, okay? When we have a vehicle we know we can't afford, we know that we may have to go ahead and sell it or trade it in. A lot of times I've gotten things that, I couldn't afford. A lot of times I got things and they weren't what I thought they would be. And that's with friendships and with relationships. And that's why we sometimes have to, deny what we want in life. Because we know good and damn well that house is too much. We know good and damn well that nice car we aren't able to afford. But we as people in this day and age, we're so caught up with instant gratification, we just don't care. So we go ahead and go through with it. You don't have to go through life struggling financially or with relationships, because we have to pay attention up here more. So we got to go through life being smart, not being young and dumb. And sometimes, even when you aren't young, you're still dumb. And that doesn't have to be the summary of our lives. And I'm not one to really care about what is going to be said about me, when I'm long gone. But one thing I want to be able to say about myself is that I will never deny me for something in someone else. I'm always trying to pay attention to where I'm going in life, and not like literally, but maybe theoretically. I want to be able to always see improvement, always see growth, always be able to look in the mirror and imagine who I want to look at. And, go ahead and try to get there. But if you are able to really pay attention, to really understand what I'm saying, is, look, So stop delaying the decisions that you know you need to make in life. If you're in a relationship and you know you're unhappy and you always find yourself wandering and wondering, maybe even about being with someone else, obviously there's a gap. There's a gap. You're right here, the other person's right here. There's no relationship in between. So if you know there's no relationship in between you and the other person, you know what decision to make. And I know sometimes you're right here, the relationship's right here, and there's a child right here. There's a child right here. I don't have enough knowledge to sit here and talk about that, because that's the summarization of a lot of people's lives. A lot. But sometimes that hard decision is what you need to make. And sometimes you right here, and the other person right here, and the child right here, I've seen it. The child will veer more to this side, and they will veer more to that side. Well, yeah, like I said, that is something that I am not able to sit here and give any type of advice on, because that's pretty much why people stay in relationships. But if you had to ask me, sometimes when a child makes that decision to go more to one parent than the next, that's just sometimes how it goes. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something else, because I know that can be talked about. That can be a whole YouTube podcast within itself. But relationships, let's talk about friendships. Look, like I said, I'm always paying attention to my decisions in life. And I'm always paying attention to who I have in my life. I know who is really for me and who's not. And I know that I've always been one to be a peacemaker. I've always been one to be the voice of reasoning. And I've always been an open ear to people. And that's why they come to me for advice. That's why they've always wanted my advice and my decisions. But when I know that a person is only for me for that, whereas me wanting to, be actual friends with that person, I've always had to cut people off. But my feelings for that person have always gotten in the way. So I've been a person who have always had to have conflict with my decisions because my feelings. So back to the gap. I'm right here. The decisions are right here. And then the person's right here. So So I'm always being in conflict to going to the decisions and then going to the person. But now that I'm older and now that I've really paid attention, I've veered off more to the decisions. And I didn't let my decisions go all the way over here and skip me and go to the person. So my own advice, my own voice of reasoning, my own wisdom that I've asked for, I've just went with it. And again, like I've always said, that's the reason why I don't have many people in my life. Because I know who is really for me and who's not. You know, a lot of people, they don't like you. They like what comes with you. They like what comes from you because it will benefit them in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not saying that I have such good advice, but what I am saying is that I listen, and a lot of people don't listen. And a lot of people don't even listen to themselves. They just want you to listen. And I don't let people become grasshoppers hopping in and out of my life anymore. Even if I had a relationship with them, I had genuine, sincere feelings towards them. Relationships, friendships, you name it. And again, that's why most, if not all the videos I have, you see me. And I have a few where I have, different people, I'm working out with. But other than that, I mean, it's just family and me. And I'm accepting. That's just how it's supposed to be. But don't be in conflict with what you know by what you feel, and do not deny the decisions that you know you need to make in life. Even, I've been talking about relationships and friendships, but even financially, don't put yourself in a hole. If you know you need to go to work, this is something I'm telling myself. If you know you need to go to work to get yourself out of that hole and to stop depending on other people, go to work. If you know the grass needs to be cut today, cut the grass. Don't put off today for what you think you can do tomorrow. Get it done today, period. Again, these are decisions that I'm making, and these are the conversations that I'm having with myself that I'm sharing with you. So don't put off today. Don't put off today what you think you can do tomorrow, because you don't know. You just don't know. And making these type of decisions are just going to make you a more determined and confident person. And just like, today, getting up at 3, that's a decision I know I need to make selfishly for me, because I know my time is going to be given to other people and to other things. But waking up at this time, there's no distractions. The only distraction is going to come from is me. And that's simply because I'm either going to get up or I'm not. I'm either going to make that choice to, get my sweat on, make my videos, and, just to get what needs to be done. And look, these things don't need to be done, okay? People are always, condemning me by waking up early. I'm always hearing, you don't have to do that. That's a choice that you make. And it's always like that. I'm serious. That's how people come to me. That's a choice that you make. Like I'm not supposed to do it. These things, what I'm doing right now, is something that I've always done. It's something that I love. It's a lifestyle. I'm not gonna let my health, and I'm not going to let other people ruin that, because I'm a very simple man. There's not a lot of things that I do. There's not even a lot of things that I say. But the things that I do, want to do, and the little things that I do that make me happy, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And if that sounds familiar, if that sounds a lot like you, Don't let yourself and other people get in the way. If it's something that you're going to benefit from more than what you will, if it's more of a pro than a con, don't give it up. I literally have it written down on the wall to not let my seizures determine or, become, I have it written down to not let my seizures be a distraction and determine what I do. And I'm not letting it get in the way. And I know here lately, I will share this with you. Here lately, I've been having a very hard time, with my health, but I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting. I'm not just going to lay down. I've never been one to just lay down. I'm going to continue to get up, and I'm going to continue to. I'm going to continue to show God that, I'm not just going to lay down because of this. So, I pray for God's help, of course. I rely on His strength more than my own, and that's why you see what you see. But just don't let your feelings get in the way, and don't delay and deny what you know from what you feel. If you know that there's a decision you need to make, just make it. Just make it. You gotta trust your gut. Females always say they have the female intuition. Well, guess what? Men have them too. We just don't talk about it, okay? I know that women like to flaunt their knowledge. And men, we're silent about ours. I'm silent about mine. But I'm gonna wrap this up by simply saying the decisions you need to make, don't delay or deny them. Just don't. And don't make decisions. Don't make those decisions for other people's sake. Don't be like me. Okay? This is something that I just started. Don't let other people make you become in conflict with yourself. And for sure, don't let other people make your decisions. Because the manipulation will absolutely be there. They will absolutely be there. They will absolutely be there. And sometimes you gotta become estranged from people, from family. And don't suffer. Don't suffer because of other people. If you are in a daily conflict with yourself, if you are struggling emotionally and financially because of other people, make that decision to cut them off, whether it's family or not, because you only live once. You only live once. It is mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Like, share, subscribe. Let's continue to grow and get better together forever. Until next time, we out. Peace.